And now, the Big D and Bubba Weekly Podcast.
Big D and Bubba, they have a show 5 days a week, but they don't get to say everything that's on their mind, so they have an extra one. That's how we get the podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast, the podcast, the podcast. Big D and Bubba's podcast.
Always makes me laugh. We're always self-conscious when we have guests in.
I know.
We're always like,
How
oh,
much
God.
do I really want to sing
D and I are
along?
not singing.
I wanted to sing along.
Just like, I'm so sorry.
Well, I would like to, first of all, get the sponsors out of the way as we're here in the O'Reilly Auto Parts studio. O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. We love O'Reilly. We have a location literally a half a block away. If you love music, you got to download the Pickle Jar app. It is super cool. You can show some gratitude. You can tip your favorite artists, your favorite bands. You can support causes around town. Plus, they have exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else. Get it today for your Apple or for your Droid. Picklejar.com. All right, now it's all you.
I always start taking like fake notes and stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah,
very
like you want to
busy.
act like you're serious.
Yeah, I'm over here doing some kind of trigonometry, and I'm very. Don't look at me. Just don't listen to this. Don't look at me. I'm so sorry. Hey, we're excited. Patricia Heaton and her husband David are in the studio with us. Good to see you guys.
Thank you. Thanks
for
for
coming out.
having us.
Thanks for having us,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
And welcome to Nashville. New. How long you guys been?
Well, we've been in town a couple of years, but we've been in and out constantly because actually the film that we're going to talk about, we were in the middle of filming that and editing it and post-production and all that kind of stuff. So we haven't really settled, so we're kind of new to these parts.
Are you from Indiana?
Yes.
Because I'm picking that up in your accent.
Actually, Massapequa, Long Island is where I'm from originally.
Okay.
No, I'm from England originally. I'm actually a country boy, though. I'm from a little...
We have a huge country following in England, in the United Kingdom. It's crazy.
Well, my uncle Robin is a massive country music fan. He used to play in a skiffle band in the 60s.
What is a skiffle?
Well, it's kind of like came out of the blues, and then it's where like Jimmy Page and people like that, that's where they began. It's like a washboard, and it's sort of a hybrid rock and roll country music kind of a thing.
You guys have washboard players in the United Kingdom?
We did in this. They did in the 60s, apparently. There was a guy called Lonnie Donegan who used to do Rock Island Line and stuff like that and steal from all the country artists in the States. So he's a massive fan. In fact,
I sent you a link.
Okay.
he wants to, we're going to bring him over to Nashville because that's been his lifelong dream
Not
to
the
come visit.
skiffle player, your uncle.
Your uncle.
My uncle, yeah,
Yes.
not the skiffle player. No, I don't know if Lonnie Donegan's still alive, bless him, but
Yeah.
there you go.
But we also, our son went to Belmont University here.
Okay.
And, of course, had a band for a while and still is here. And then my sister is a Catholic nun at St. Cecilia's Convent.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we've been coming here on and off for about 10 years or more. So we kind of knew
We kind of
the
fell in
area.
love with the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like the place to come.
If
Like, it's the,
Nashville was near the ocean, it would be the perfect city on, maybe the most perfect city on planet Earth.
Yeah, but it's got a lot of great lakes to go to and visit, and a lot of paths. The
I gotta
walking
say,
paths.
it's a fantastic
gorgeous
place.
here.
But the key is the people. And I'm not saying that because we're sitting here being interviewed, but if you hold a gun to my head, I would say the same thing. People are just amazing here. They are so much friendlier than in LA. Okay, I'll get my coat.
I like how you said it like we don't already know that.
Yeah.
People in LA know that.
But we didn't, you know.
We were offered way back in the day, hey guys, where do you want to do the show from? And there was a couple cities that we struggled between. We were like, do we want to be, I wanted to be by the beach. Remember, I wanted Jacksonville. And Big D was like, we got to be in Nashville. And then the company wanted us on the West Coast. So we were going to probably end up in San Diego. And finally, everything just kind of worked out that we ended up here. And I'm really glad it worked out that way.
Yeah.
Are you guys from here originally or no?
Big D's from an hour away.
From
Cookeville, Tennessee. Myself and Patrick are both from South Louisiana. And Carson.
I am from the country hub known as Connecticut.
We make a lot of fun of Carson for that, by the way. We'll tell stories from our childhood about like drinking from the water hose and whatever. And Carson will be like, I don't know, some
My house
Connecticut
had a pool.
thing. Yeah,
We drink pool water. I don't know.
We had a pool when it flooded during hurricane season. I mean, that was pretty much it.
One of my best friends from New York is from Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh, you have rich
And,
friends?
Yeah, very fancy.
He had rich parents. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Yes.
So Patricia, because everybody loves Raymond,
Yeah.
The Middle, and so we're so used to seeing you on screen. And so this new movie that you're doing, that you guys have done, it's called Unexpected. You're in it? You're starring in it?
No, I'm
You're
just
behind.
producing it
Yeah.
with Dave. And it was so, oh my gosh, I loved it so much because I'm sitting next to Dave behind the monitor where the director watches what's happening on camera.
Which
right?
would be me. by
That's
the way.
Dave. And, to watch the actors come in and be nervous, and have that adrenaline going. I was just so glad that wasn't me. Like for once, I was on the other side watching it, and I thought, I don't think I ever want to do that again because I just love sitting and watching and giving notes.
But
You
it-
still
yeah,
got nervous? I mean,
Oh, yes. At the beginning of every season of Raymond or The Middle, I'd come in and I'd think, I have completely forgotten how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Like every year. And then I just did a couple, just doing a couple scenes on a movie over the last couple of years where you come in and that whole cast and crew has bonded and you're just coming in for a day to do something and you don't really know anybody and they're on a tight tight schedule because the budget is low, and you don't want to screw up because they have to move on, and you're just the interloper who's coming in for one day. It's really nerve wracking, but it's the good. It's what I like about our industry. You're always being challenged, and you're always learning, and it never gets really scary, but it never gets boring.
She loved being on set because she could nag me all day long.
But we work well together.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
There's usually one big fight during
Yeah,
shooting.
That's
and-
pretty much guaranteed. You can set
Yeah.
your watches by
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's going to happen at
Do
least
you have
once.
that on set, or do you take it?
Oh, the last one on this movie, Unexpected, we had, there's just, the pandemic was blowing up, everything was happening. Dave and I were kind of arguing, and a neighbor that was across from the location comes running over and goes, "Can I pray for you?" I was like, "Yes, please."
that's a good fight. That's a good fight.
Kind of took the wind out of the situation. yeah.
That's
Hard to keep fighting after that, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Maybe that's a nice little tip for anybody who is newly married. Anytime it starts to get heated, just stop and go, "Can I pray for us?"
So
And then-
what is this Unexpected? What is it? What's it about?
It's an adult comedy. It's a quirky comedy about a young couple who can't have kids. And she wants to adopt and he doesn't. And it's the journey they go on. But it goes on a really interesting kind of journey in the third act. Things start to change. And it's got a huge heart, but we've screened it a couple places, just kind of testing it out. And people so far are loving it. So we're very excited about it. But it's been a long time coming.
How does how do these get made? I don't think people understand the process.
Oh, gosh. Well,
Well, we've had we optioned a book in 2004, and we've been actually trying to develop it since then. It can take that long, and we finally
we almost had it done like 7 times.
yes, and money falls out or actors drop out or whatever, and it's hard to make all those pieces come together at the same time. We finally decided, okay, we'll just do it ourselves. We'll finance it ourselves. We'll do low budget. We'll get it done. We went to Oklahoma City, a great place to shoot. We had done all but 5 days of the movie. We had 5 days left, and the pandemic shut us down. And
And
kidding me?
then we had to recast one of the actors. And,
So you had to reshoot all of
and
their
I had
scenes.
I had to reshoot almost the entire movie the following year. So literally it's finished about a week ago. And I'm not joking. We thought 6 months of our lives, it turned out to be 2.5 years.
yeah, and
Wow.
it doubled
It's been
the budget.
quite the journey, and the
Yeah.
budget doubled, and we had so many challenges in the middle of it. We thought, we're never going to get this done. We're never going to work again. We're going to be broke, and blah, blah, You go to
So-
that dark place, and now here we are.
So it basically took from when you optioned it 18 years to get to this point.
Yeah, we
like a
weren't
kid.
working on it 7 days a week. I admit that, but we based on the book, we wrote a script, and
Well, we didn't write it, but we
Well,
hired- yeah.
okay, but we
Yeah.
meaning
The team.
the team, yeah. And it just wasn't working. And I turned to the writer, who we'd worked with for a number of years before, and I said, you know what, needs a different engine.
Because it was only about adopting animals to begin with. This couple who just put their energies into rescuing animals, and that was kind of the whole story.
And it was cute and funny, but it didn't really make a movie. So I said, why don't we make the couple childless? They can't have kids, and make it about adoption. He said, oh, it's a great idea.
Yeah, that they're pouring their mothering instincts into these animals.
Yeah. So a week later, he calls me. He goes, hey, Dave, I got the first draft. I said, what's the matter with your voice? He goes, it poured out of me. I said, how come? Why are you sounding like this? He goes, I never told you this, but both my girls are adopted.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we got chills and went, ooh, we struck a nerve. And there's some of the dialogue in the movie, which I hope you guys get to see, is almost verbatim some exchanges he and his wife had as they went on this journey. And I swear to God, I've seen it 1,000 times. And it destroys me every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But in the
see,
best
I'm
way.
adopted,
But in the best-
so
in
is
the
this
best
going to hit
way.
me
Yeah.
like in a bad way?
Are you adopted?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to love
You're
this.
going to love it.
Oh, okay.
You will love it, my friend. You will.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's very life affirming.
Yeah, and it's very moving, but it's super funny. It's super funny.
Okay,
So
I like
it's-
that then.
And well, we like, I do basically mostly comedy. And I find that comedy really kind of softens people's hearts and opens their hearts up. And then, then it's open to, the moving stuff that's in there.
You guys are doing. It's going to be Sunday at the Franklin Theater. It'll be October 2nd. Depending on when you're listening to this, to see Unexpected. And what do you just go and you have to go on to the National Film Festival to get tickets, or can you? That's the best.
Yeah, you can actually show up on the day, but if you go on their website,
NashvilleFilmFest.org.
yes,
.org.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes, you can
you
purchase
can order
tickets.
Yeah.
And it's called Unexpected.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we want people to we want people to come, and this
Well,
is
we're
our
ve-
first offering to Nashville.
Yes, we're really
as
excited
new
to-
artists in town.
We felt very welcome to the community. We're really excited to be a part of it, and we were really thrilled when they accepted our movie because we want to see the entertainment industry continue to grow. There's a lot of people coming from LA into Nashville, and
A lot.
Yes,
We know.
Sorry.
sorry about that.
Listen,
Can you guys buy me a house? Or
I was over at this place called the Picnic Cafe because my new neighbor wanted to take me over because I'd never had pimento cheese before.
You've never had pimento cheese?
Well, I have now. But she said to the waitress, she said, Marge, this is my new neighbor, Patty. And she said, oh, well, welcome to Nashville. I hope you're not from L.A.
Well, yeah.
I said, originally Cleveland. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts. Yeah, it's a little detour.
Hey, did you know that your sister was going to be a nun growing up?
Well, my mom is one of 15 children, and my my grandmother got Catholic Mother of the Year for the United States and a medal from the Pope.
What?
So there had to be at least one of us becoming a religious person. Yeah.
Really? Like for real? That you didn't just make that up?
No, I have like 100 first cousins.
She's got
on my
so
mom's
many
side.
cousins. She married me because I'm out of the country. That way, she was pretty much
fairly
guaranteed she
sure.
wasn't going to marry a relative.
That was like
my father was one of 9 kids.
Oh yeah,
One
but
of the
you're not
same thing.
Catholic,
Yes,
right?
I am.
Oh, because
yeah.
you're from Louisiana.
I'm from Louisiana.
Oh yeah, of
Pretty
course.
much everybody is Catholic. If you're not, we look at you and go, "What happened? Y'all come from somewhere else?"
how did
or-
you hear? How did you end up here?
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of knew, and she was originally in a cloister where you don't even speak, you never see the person, again. But that didn't really fit with her. So she went to the Dominicans, which are at St. Cecilia's Convent. Lovely. They have Aquinas College here and 2 lower schools, and they're a teaching order. So they're very, very well educated.
Tell the
wonderful
guys
women.
where she originally went to school, though.
Who's Sharon?
Yeah,
Where?
she was at Kent State.
Oh, Kent State. Oh,
And she
when the
was-
shootings happened.
She was part of the whole.
So she was
student-
like part of like Students for
Communist-
Democratic Society
Yeah.
and Student Socialists of America.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and now she's a Dominican nun, full habit, big
come all
honking
the way
rosary
around.
beads hanging down. Yeah.
Does she wear that all the time?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
Do you have to wear that when you leave?
Yes. Yeah.
We know nothing about all this.
Because
Yeah,
I see the nuns in cars sometimes in traffic, and I'm like, I would love to just have a conversation with them.
Yeah. Well, that's part of the reason they wear it all the time because it's this kind of a symbol of God in the community, and people who would normally maybe have something on their heart. They feel okay about going up to a sister when they see her and saying, "Sister, can I talk to you about something?" So, because the sister is wearing that habit, they know that's someone they can talk to.
Tell them the LA story.
What's that?
Tell him the LA story. Come
My
on.
sister
You have to.
and two of the nuns came and visited in Los Angeles, and she went to a bagel store and ordered some bagels by herself, and the guy behind the counter would not charge her for the bagels. He said, "Just take them, sister. Just take them." So she walks out, and a man comes running up to her and says, "Sister, I found this $20 on the ground, and I want to give it to you for whatever your order is." She goes, "No, you keep it. You keep it." He goes, "No, sister, take it, take it." So she said, "Well, thank you so much." And then a young girl comes up and goes, "That's my $20. I just dropped it." And my sister said, "Oh, here, take it back." And the girl goes, "Forget it. You keep it."
But can I have your bagel?
But they got hotel rooms in LA for like $4.
yeah.
And they were playing basketball in our backyard. And
In their habits?
Yep.
Yes, full habits.
With our
and
4
playing
boys.
guitars, and it was brilliant.
With our 4
And a
boys.
friend drove by and almost ran into the next door neighbor's house in his pickup truck and almost hit the wall. And he called me. He said, "What's going on? Are you shooting a movie back there?" I'm like, "No, just our friends playing
we are. We're
basketball."
shooting
Sister Act
Sister Act
18.
So we're finding out there's a really easy way to get free stuff in the world.
It is kind of just a scam for getting discounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen.
Just get dressed up and do your thing.
Yeah.
So how long did she not get to talk?
Well, she was in that order for maybe 2 years and then
Oh,
decided.
wait, so she didn't talk for 2 years?
Well, they have what they call recreation, which is they get 30 minutes to talk to each other
A day.
a day.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does she write letters?
It's a contemplative order. So they're working, they're making things. I can't remember what that particular order made, but they're working and they're working in the convent and they spend most of their time praying. So their vocation is to pray for the world.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's funny to think of them like getting just 30 minutes to talk and then trying to go down. Oh, quick, I got something else to tell you. Hurry up. And another time's up. And then, oh.
It's like a bell. It's late for class.
Who was the first like country artist celebrity that you guys met when you got to Nashville?
Well, I've known Reba McEntire for a while because we share a makeup artist.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But
that's
long
pretty exciting.
before that, Dolly Parton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were going to develop a show for her. Before the show Nashville was made,
We had a
we
similar
had the
pitch.
similar idea and we pitched it to Dolly and she wanted to do it. And she turned to us in the meeting. I'll never forget this. It still gives me chills. She said, "Would you like me to write the music for this show?" And we just went, "Well, yes." She was absolutely delightful.
And
But
then
then she had to
she
go on for tour for 2 years.
Yeah,
and so
but then after she said that, she said, I can kind of see, like, I could do a song like this, or if it's a scene about that, well, I just go like, and then she just started singing, and the hair on her arms stood up, and it was just, just off the cuff, beautiful, I mean, stunning. It was, yeah, really exciting.
Dolly doesn't even seem like a real person to me. And I don't mean that to be like in any way negative. She's just like magic.
Magic.
She
Well,
is.
no,
and I've
you-
been in a room with her a few times, and every time it's like, that's not even real. This is just, she's just so, oh, first of all, she's 45% plastic. She'll tell you that herself. I'm not the one saying, but also it's just like, she just has this like joyous kind of thing. So I went to see her at a show in Huntsville, I don't know, 6 years ago or something like that. And I don't do what they call meet and greets, where you just line up to take a picture, because the artists come in here and I know them and I see them at parties and stuff, and I don't want to take someone else's spot. But it's Dolly Parton. And so one of her publicists came up to me and said, "Listen, you want to get in a meet and greet?" And I blamed it on the person I was with, my business manager. I'm like, well, let's do it for her, And then as we got closer to that line and just got closer and closer to Dolly, I went,
You started to sweat.
oh man. And I looked at my friend Katie, who was with me, our business manager, and I said, I'm just gonna go for it. She goes, all right, go for it. And it was our turn, and I went, oh my God, Dolly Parton. She goes, look at you, honey. You just look fabulous. And I was like, this is exactly the exchange I want. It was so perfect. She's
Spreading the Dolly dust.
Yeah, she's just amazing.
she's otherworldly, I think. She really has an amazing presence.
Oh, yeah.
She's like
Reba's
the
a
Queen
little
of
bit like
America
that,
is
too.
what she is.
Yeah.
She's like the America's queen.
She could be. Look, we're running out of people that everybody loves.
Right.
Right.
Like we talked about
Yeah,
that a while back.
we don't
Like,
have many
when
people
Betty
that
White
everyone
died, like there's not that many people left that everybody loves.
Right.
They're universally loved people, and Dolly's one of those. Like, if you have something bad to say about Dolly Parton, you better go say it in a quiet room by yourself.
Or you
Nobody
better
wants
have
to hear
some
it.
kind of way to back it up.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's just an opinion, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was saying country music. We have George, is
Mm-hmm.
universally loved.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah,
George Strait.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Strait. It has to be alive. Yeah, of course.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
saying people
It's
who are
his
still
whole
with
point. He
us.
said we're running out
Yeah.
of.
Strait. Alan Jackson.
I mean, I guess, but I'm not sure how much that's, everybody even know. I would think, obviously Garth, but, I have actually met people who don't like Garth Brooks.
Because they're awful
and-
and shouldn't be on this planet.
I know.
Jealous?
Straight up.
I won't tell Carson who they are because she'll hunt them down and beat them up. But
I mean,
there's-
everybody deserves a good face punch every once in a while. And if I have to set you straight about Garth, I will do it.
Is there anybody in the acting community that is just universally loved?
I would say Tom Hanks
Hanks.
is
Oh,
like
yeah, he's pretty high.
the
Yeah.
Jimmy Stewart of
Keanu.
his generation.
Oh, yeah, Keanu.
Keanu's
seems
big,
like an
yeah.
incredible person.
But
I
the
hear
other-
he like gives money to people like randomly. He would riding his motorcycle. He'd just stop over and be like, "Here's $1,000. Have a nice day," and drive away.
Wow.
It's one of those things, though, like Keanu's kind of like Bill Murray when, like, they tell these stories and you're like, I don't know if that's true, but it's probably true because, like, you just hear anything. You can attribute almost anything to Bill Murray, and people will believe
Yeah.
it.
But I know that is true, as we've talked about
Oh,
before.
they did a whole documentary
Bill Murray
on
stopped in on my buddy's Super Bowl party. He saw them watching the game from the street, and he ding dong. Hey, can I come watch the game
No
with you guys?
way.
Yeah, and they were like, yeah.
Wow.
So he sent me pictures and everything. He's like, look at
No
Bill
way.
Murray sitting here watching the Super Bowl with us. So
They
he
did a whole
does do that
documentary
stuff.
on those. If you've never seen it, it's
Okay.
amazing. I can't remember what it's called. Just look Bill Murray Stories documentary, and they research whether or not these things were like
True
urban
or not.
legends
Yeah.
or true. And there's so many of them that they have proof of.
See, my biggest fear would be I would like ding dong and then nobody would know who I was. Mom, there's some strange lady wants to come in and watch the Super Bowl.
You show up at my mom's house, she'd be like, "It's that lady from Raymond." She would go, "Come on, are you hungry?"
They would feed you
Yes,
good.
they would.
Do you guys run into people that from LA that you didn't know moved here?
Everybody sort of puts out the call of like, I'm coming, so you kind of know that everybody's here. Yeah.
Who else is
Hiding
that we
amongst
don't
us.
know?
Well, let's see. Gary Sinise?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll be here
He'll be
soon.
here
He
soon,
moved
yeah.
his whole foundation here, and in fact, he raises about $30 million a year to build homes for wounded vets, and so he's moved that foundation to Franklin. And this coming Saturday night, myself and Kelsey Grammer are hosting his first benefit in Nashville for his foundation at Opryland. What's the hotel?
Yeah, it's
Opryland
like-
Hotel.
Yeah.
So around.
Yeah, so I think if you go to the
Yeah.
Gary Sinise Foundation, if you're interested in supporting that too.
And we were with Gary sort of right at the beginning when he first came up with the idea, and it's amazing how that organization has grown.
Well, we're
and the work that they do. is
Dee and I are
phenomenal.
both pilots, and Gary and his band always play the EAA Air Venture, and it's so cool to see what he's doing. you
Yeah,
know?
with the Lieutenant Dan band.
Yeah.
He's
a good guy.
Tireless, selfless, wonderful person. He's another guy along with Tom Hanks who's just like beloved.
I swear, what's the pirate guy? I swear he lives
Johnny
here.
Depp?
Yes, he lived here
No,
too.
I don't think so.
I swear I saw him in
No.
traffic. one day.
Pirate.
Pirate guy. Oh, what you guys don't know about us is that Big D doesn't know any actors' names. And
None.
it's a recurring
So probably
fantastic...
if I went and knocked on his door to watch the
No,
Super
he'd
Bowl,
be
he
like-
wouldn't even remember that we talked.
No. And be like, man, no, you know what? He might now know you as Patty. He'd be like, "Ah, that's Patty. I met her.
And I'm
But
Dave, just in case you've forgotten that already, Big D.
he doesn't know the names of people he's seen in movies. And like, so it's so much
And it's
fun.
big names.
Big, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh.
who's the guy from Titanic, D?
Watch this. He's got to figure it out. And he'll walk through
He's
it.
in that Wolf movie.
Yes.
Yes.
He's also the meme where he's dressed up and he has like a
Yes.
Yeah, he's that
cigarette
mean.
or-
Mhm.
Champagne.
And he's
a
laughing.
drink.
Like,
Yeah.
that guy, yeah.
He's Gatsby. Yes.
Gatsby, yeah.
So
Wow,
he
this
knows
is
who we're
impressive.
talking
He only
about.
dates 25-year-olds.
That's right.
25
Hey,
years
there's a
or
video
less.
where he runs up on his bud, who's also an actor, the heavyset guy.
Jonah Hill. Yep.
Yeah.
Jonah Hill, he walks
Yep.
up to him and goes with a camera, like he's going to take it, like whatever. And then he realizes it's him. He's like, oh my God, it's
That
funny.
you
So what's his
remember
name?
That.
Yeah, he remembers so many details,
Not the
but he can't
name,
tell you his
but-
name.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
There you go.
Let's see what he would have won.
I was
We
waiting
do
for him to
this
say
as a
Da
recurring
Vinci.
segment. It's like,
Yeah, it's
D doesn't know famous people. It's so
I
much
don't know.
fun.
I tell you who is great, by the way, is Clint Eastwood. I think he's one of those guys. I really do.
Oh yeah, that everyone
He's
loves.
just like an icon.
Yeah, he should be.
Yeah.
And he keeps making great movies. He's like 90-something years old, and he keeps doing it.
So here's something, a little piece of trivia. In the last Dirty Harry movie, Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry movie, David Hunt here, sitting next to me, was the serial killer in the movie.
What?
Wait, what?
Yes, I started my career then.
Yeah.
I killed Jim Carrey
In the movie.
in the movie, and I was impersonating Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
And
wow.
yeah, and in the end, I tortured Patricia Clarkson, and I got amazing reviews for that film, by the way. No, but that was a dream.
He's the only villain who got the magnum
I got
away
his
from him.
I got his magnum from him. I'm the only actor who's ever had that. But that was a dream experience. I mean, I'm fresh out of the Juilliard School, and I'm standing in the middle of a San Francisco street in the middle of the night, standing next to Clint, chatting, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing!" It was one of those you just like surreal. You're pinching yourself.
That happens a lot. No matter how long you've worked, like you'll find yourself at a makeup trailer next to somebody, and like I did early on 2 scenes in a movie with Chevy Chase, and I was so frozen with like shock when he would come and sit next to me in the makeup trailer. I never said hello to him. And like the third morning he comes in, he goes, "Good morning, Patricia." I was like, "I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm so nervous." Is it Chevy or Chevy? I don't know. I used to watch you on Saturday Night Live, and I'm so nervous right now.
It's amazing.
So what you guys will push this movie's Unexpected, and you'll do the showing and whatnot. What goes after this? What's the end goal, I guess?
Well, distribution. We've sold it to a distributor already, and their plan is to release it in the early part of 2023, next year. And it'll probably just be digital. Like we'll probably get it on
a streamer of some sort.
like Amazon, Hulu, one of those places. So
Then we'll do another big push
Yeah.
so that everybody can come and see it. But this
it's
Sunday is very special because, anybody in Nashville can come. Our stars Anna Camp, who was in the Pitch Perfect movies, and Joe Mazzello, who was just in Bohemian Rhapsody. Joe is actually the little boy in the very first Jurassic Park movie. But they will be there. And Dave and I will be there, and there'll be a Q&A at the end. So it'll be really fun, and we just want to share it with all the wonderful people
So
of
yeah,
Nashville
this is a chance to see it before
it gets out.
A
Sunday,
long time before.
Sunday at noon
Yeah.
at the Franklin Theater in Franklin, Tennessee. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so I know you're here to promote the movie, but can I ask a couple questions about some of your other shows? Is that okay? Okay. What you were on Raymond for like what, 9 seasons?
9.5 years. Yeah.
And it's so hard for somebody to go from a role where you are Deborah, like that's it, that you're going to be in everybody's mind forever, and then to start over and have another show that went for 9 seasons, like that's
unheard
I don't
of.
think.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people have done that?
I just
like
feel
you and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and that's it.
And I feel really blessed because that doesn't happen very often. It kind of worked out because we have 4 sons, and you're trying to raise your kids, and you don't want to go away, and don't work to take you away. So I never, I was taking them to school in the morning, coming home, after school, getting, I was able to be like kind of full-time mom and full-time actress. I feel really blessed about that.
What was one of the bigger differences between, by the time you're doing the middle, you're already the star, like when it starts. It's got to be different than when you started doing Everybody Loves Raymond. No one knows if it's going to work or who you guys are.
Right, but you don't even know if it's, because even if you are considered a star, your show could totally tank. I did was it in between that? I did a show with Kelsey Grammer called Back to You. And it didn't.
Okay, I'm not going to lie, I don't know that.
Okay, well, that's because it didn't
was
last
only on 9
very long.
episodes.
So you can think you have all this is what's crazy about this business. You think you have all the elements. Okay, this show is going to be a home run because it's me and it's Kelsey, and actually Josh Gad was in it. That was his first show. And then
Ty Burrell.
Ty Burrell from
went on to
Modern Family.
Yep.
It was just this incredible, and no, it was canceled
Well,
after
the
12
writer's
episodes.
strike was partly responsible.
Writer's strike
for
was
that.
partly responsible, but still, you just don't know. And that's kind of the awful part about it. It's kind of the wonderful thing about it because it could happen at any time. I think that's what keeps us in here probably in the business longer than we should stay, is that you think just around the corner.
It's like golf. It's like hitting one good shot. Even you could play the worst round of your life, but you hit one good shot and you go, man, I'll go back. One more.
You're right.
Yes.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Carson and I pretty much just wanted you guys to come in so we could fangirl about how much we love the middle. It's one of the
I
best.
honestly had a thought that I'm not going to say it was my first thought when the Queen died, but it was one of my top 5. Was like, oh my gosh, poor Frankie is going to watch the funeral because it just stands out to me. Her being so hyped for Kate Middleton's wedding, which also was me, reflected. I'm like, yes, this is our Super Bowl. Like we are watching this, and I thought like, oh,
yes, she goes so far as to go and buy a big flat screen TV that she plans on returning afterwards. No, that was great. The difference is Raymond was a multicam show, so you rehearse for 4 days like a play, and then 4 cameras come in, and you do it in front of an audience like a play from beginning to end. And you go in at 10 o'clock in the morning, and you're usually done about 5. It was a nice schedule. The middle is single camera. They shoot it like a movie, so you shoot it all out of order. There's no audience. You shoot every day. There's no rehearsal. You start at 6 in the morning, come home at 6 at night. It's a much tougher schedule.
Which is more fun to do, though?
Well, the audience, the multi-camera, because the audience is there, so you get that response, and you get to see it, in sequence, in order. So when you're shooting single camera, it's shot all out of order. You don't know what it's going to look like until you see it on the screen.
But you also get instant feedback from the audience, which is like doing a little play in front of cameras. That's the big difference.
Hard because like Neil had done Scrubs, and that was single camera.
Yeah.
That's the first time I realized when they pointed out that show was single cameras. First time I realized, oh yeah, this looks different than every other sitcom I've ever seen. Because for years it was
just
all
multi-camera.
multicam shows.
Well, also Neil's
in the movie.
Is in our movie.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
in Unexpected.
that's right. By the way,
Yes.
I do remember seeing that in the materials they sent.
Actually, there's Neil Flynn and 2 other actors, Paul Hipp and Pat Finn, who are also in the middle, who are in the movie, and they're hilarious.
So it all ties together.
It all
it's
ties
okay that
together.
we started fangirling about
Yes.
it. The middle, by the way, is on HBO Max.
Yeah.
I think that's the one. We've started watching it because we're trying to find things that we can watch together with my 13-year-old daughter.
Yep.
And it is, some of those sitcoms, especially, the ones from a few years ago, they were still more, it feels more family friendly.
Oh my
And it
gosh.
feels like something you can really dig into. So we've got 9 seasons. We can sit there and whenever she feels like she wants to watch a show with us, we go, oh, okay, well, let's see.
Yeah.
And she really relates to it because she's a kid, 13 years old.
Right.
It's kinda-
Girl
it's-
like Sue Heck.
like
right
Sue.
there,
So
yeah.
it kind of
well,
really.
and Sue Heck is one of the greatest TV kids of all time because she's not good at anything.
Right.
She fails at everything she tries. She's the most enthusiastic, positive person who loves her mom and dad and loves America. And, she never is daunted. And, most of these teen girls that are portrayed are either kind of cynical and nasty or they're super brainy and kind of nasty. And, she's just this lovely, lovely character.
It's also the show is the only sitcom, I think, that dealt with a family that was struggling economically, that were really kind of working class.
Other than like when
Roseanne.
Roseanne Barr.
That was
but
really since Roseanne.
I guess
that
Roseanne,
was
that's
that
a good
was
point, yeah.
But yeah, you're right, and it felt like everybody I know. You know, It was
Yes.
because we talk about it like the Jason Aldean song "Flyover States."
Yes.
Like, people just forget that most of America is the people who live outside of cities in the middle of the country.
Right.
And so, even if you live in California or New York, you probably don't live in a city if you're listening to this show.
Right.
So that's all of it. That's most of us, and I
Well,
feel
that's
like
why-
that
It really
content's
is.
not
the
made for us.
Yeah, the
most of
show
time.
Yellowstone with Kevin Costner has the
huge.
highest audience rate of any show. They are never talked about in Hollywood. They never get any nominations for anything. It's as if the show doesn't exist. It's very
so
weird.
annoying.
It's
And
very
yet
weird.
crazy because I think Patrick, you got a call one day that people were saying like, we need content about rural.
Yes.
That so as much as like they don't talk about, it, they're like, we need it.
Something
There's
like
a lot.
that.
There is a lot of copycat stuff going on. And that's
course.
with anything. If you have a song that's really popular, if
Yes.
Billie Eilish puts something out, everybody wants to sound like that. You listen to that Dove Cameron thing, and I know y'all are like, this is country. What are you talking about? I'm just saying, it sounds like complete copycat stuff.
Right.
And it's the same with country music. You have somebody who gets popular. That's how we got the bro music thing that went through, the bro country deal. Whatever popular thing is, everybody chases it.
Yes.
And what's cool is to be able to be that person who isn't chasing and who is just comfortable just doing what you do.
Right.
And I think people forget that, and people also forget where most people are. And you're right. A show that serves the masses is always going to be popular.
Yes.
I think that's a very good point, and it's actually. I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood making movies for each other so they can brag about it at dinner parties. And I don't care who hears this because it's true. You're right. The vast majority of real America lives outside of those little tiny bubbles. By the way, we got a Billie Eilish song in our movie too, which was unbelievable because we have an amazing music supervisor, Steve Schnurr. He does all the stuff for EA Games and works with Hans Zimmer. And
oh, no way!
We recorded a live orchestra here in Nashville, and oh gosh, the music is amazing. And he got us an amazing deal on this Billie Eilish song. He calls me up. It was one of the last days we were shooting. He says, "I got the song. Great. Next week, it wins Song of the Year at the Grammys."
Oh, wow.
I'm like, whoa. It's everything I wanted.
That's so crazy. That's a cool job. The music supervisor for like TV or movies, that's got to be the best ever.
Yeah. Your job is just to listen to music and then match it up with stuff.
So is it insane? I mean, y'all would obviously know a little more about it. Is it like crazy, like having to fight over songs and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it wasn't too crazy.
Not really.
I think the hardest part was actually figuring out which songs work best and then seeing if you can afford them. We had to cut out a bunch of stuff.
Here's what I do, and this is pretty common, but when you're editing, I will just throw music in, stuff that I like or stuff that I think is appropriate, and I'll just mess around with it because at that point there's nothing in there.
Right.
It's just temporary.
And every once in a while, like the Billie Eilish song, I went, oh, it completely worked for this character in this moment, and I went, oh, that was my first choice. I have to have this song in the film. And, of course, it's, the most expensive song in the world to get, but he got a great deal for us. And the rest of it is sort of trial and error. And then when I started to work with Steve, he would then throw in some suggestions and say, well, actually, I know this band here, and then there's this person here. And actually, our son's band has got there's a little music from his band in
That's
there as well.
cool.
We got 2 musicians in the family.
That's really cool.
Our son Joe's a drummer, and he drummed with a band called King Princess. He toured Europe and the UK and America. Now he's going on with another band to Southeast Asia and
Fiji Blue.
Fiji Blue, it's called. He's been all over the world, like places we've never been our entire life, and he's 25.
And he's getting paid to do it.
And he's getting paid to do it. Like, how did you do that?
It's a good life.
Yeah, it's a great life.
How long have you guys been married?
30,
This year it will be 32.
2, right?
Yeah. 32 years.
It's been a while when you can't
This
quite
month.
remember. You're like,
This is our 35th year together.
wow.
But every
I was 12 when we got married. Just in case anyone's doing the math.
No, but every year on our anniversary, I wake up and we look at each other and we're like, it's long enough, right?
Yeah, because
like anything new we're going to discover about each other is going to be awful.
It's not gonna be great.
What is that thing on my back? Can you
Yeah,
take a look? Those are the only revelations coming our way.
oh man.
I have.
Hey, but we
Oh no, I was just gonna say. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, but what kind of a summer did we just have? We had an amazing summer. We just went to the 50th anniversary screening of The Godfather in Taormina, Sicily, and we hung out with Francis Ford Coppola and had dinner with him. That was like a bucket list item, and he was the loveliest, not Hollywood guy you'd ever want to meet.
Who picked the wine?
Oh, I don't know. It was just someone was just bringing
It was
it
not
on.
just us. There were like 30 other people.
Yeah, but who cares? I was sitting next. I don't care. I was sitting next to
You
him.
have to have a
love
partner.
Dave.
Just to
I was sitting next to him, but way to burst my bubble, Patty.
Oh, that's how I tell stories too. I'm like, I was hanging out with Garth Brooks after he won his CMA award, and my wife would be like, well, there were like 35 people there. I'm like, there were only 35.
Come on, just let me run with it for once in my life already.
Trust me, Patrick is loud enough. Garth knew he was there.
I don't know if I've ever told this story on the podcast.
But
so
wait, sorry, Pat, but one more, just at the end. We spent a day with the Pope.
Oh.
Like actually hanging out?
There were also 30
Drops
people
the
there.
mic.
How
Mic
many
drop.
people were in the room with the Pope? Don't lie. Tell us, Patty.
Yeah.
Did you
About
have
40.
to play
About
My
40
Sister's
people.
a Nun card to get in?
I'll show you the photos as evidence afterwards.
Fantastic.
Wow.
No, I was just going to say that it was It was after he won his last CMA award. We got Carson and I. Carson's a super Garth fan, so if I find out where the Garth after party is, I have to tell Carson.
Oh, I got a text too.
Yeah. So we're like,
One of us has his phone number.
We're leaving the party we're at to go to this other party, and it really was. It's a little room about this size. There's maybe 25 people in there, and I'm like, this is crazy. And then suddenly we're standing there, and whoever Garth was talking to stopped talking to him, so he just comes over and starts talking to us. And since Garth kind of came out of retirement like 7-8 years ago, whenever, I see him around town all the time, and I've had this thing where I don't want to ask him for a picture because everybody goes up to Garth Brooks to get a selfie all the time. I'm sure you get this a lot too, because it's
not as much as I would like.
Well, that's unexpected.
That's terrible.
See what he
Thank
did
you.
there, ladies and gentlemen.
But I just told myself, I said, I'm never going to be that person that asks Garth Brooks for a selfie because I don't want to be that guy. And I want him to kind of, remember, I know that guy. He never asked me for a picture. In my mind, that's what he says. So every time I see him, I'll shake his hand and say, it's so nice that you're here, or it was great to see you, or that show was awesome, or whatever. But I don't want to be one of the people asking for a picture. And we're standing at that party, and we talked to Garth for like 7 or 8 minutes, and no one came and interrupted us. And I think he was just like so used to somebody like pulling him away or someone else. And finally, we talked to Garth so long that he asked us if we wanted to take a picture with him. And
So he wanted to finish
I'm
it.
like, oh, that's his way of saying I'm done with you now. But yeah, okay, for sure, I'll take a picture with you, Garth Brooks. Let's do that. So
Did you kneel and he knight you as well?
Oh, he might have. He could have. It would have been fine.
Kiss the ring.
I would have been totally fine with that.
Well, it's so great to have you guys in here.
Well,
Thank you.
We appreciate you having
Listen,
us.
you guys are great.
And make sure you check out it's called Unexpected. The show is going to be at the Franklin Theater this Sunday. That's the 2nd of October, 12 o'clock. If you want to get tickets in advance, go to NashvilleFilmFest.org, or you can show up there at the theater itself.
Okay, I know he's trying to wrap, but I want to ask one question about Raymond. Is there like one scene that everybody comes up to you and or one show that is like the thing that everybody talks about?
Yeah, there's one where it's our Thanksgiving episode, and I drop the turkey on the floor, and it takes me about 3 tries to pick it back up. And this is while we're fighting, and I just open the oven and throw it in and slam it, and that's one
a
of
good
people's
one.
favorite one.
I was gonna say
There's also a fridge splat where Raymond tries to put me on top of the fridge, and he ends up throwing me against it instead while we're celebrating the fact that his parents are moving
fantastic.
away.
The suitcase was a popular
Tell
one.
you the one that I think of all the time, and maybe it's just me because of my marriage.
Okay.
But the episode where he tells you if you're not ready on time, he's going to leave.
Oh,
and you're like,
AIS.
go, yeah.
Ass in seat.
Ass in seat. Yeah, and then the curling iron gets stuck in your head, and he doesn't know that, but he leaves without you.
Yes.
Gets to the party, and all the other husbands are like, where's Deborah? And he's like, well, I told her. AIS, or I'm leaving without you. And they're all so impressed with him. And he's like the big man, like, yeah, that's right. I left her. I think about that every time I'm trying to leave my house. I think, you know what? One of these days I'm going to do that. But then I'm going to get the same reaction he got when he got home.
Yeah.
Which is that, I'll never forget, though, it's the look on your face.
Yes.
Like, every man has, that's why you were so good at that part.
Dave just got that look last week. The death stare.
The death stare.
Oh, yeah. It's a regular occurrence.
I do have to interject then before we wrap, because my episode that I showed to my father, and I hope my mother never listens to this, is the Christmas episode where Deborah buys Ray a DVD player.
Oh, right.
And he says, like, you bought me something to relax and not help you. You want to be a martyr. And I'm like, oh my God, it's my mother. and I like call my dad. I'm like, have you seen the Christmas episode of Raymond? He's like, I got it on the DVR. I'm like, watch it. Make sure she's not in the room. Make sure she's not watching with you. And I was like, that is her. Oh. And so now, like, it's one of my favorite. I'm a big Christmas TV person. It's one of my favorite Christmas episodes of any show. And it comes on, and I'm like, oh, Mom, you want to like go bake some cookies? Because like part of me goes, you see? And then I go, what if she doesn't get that it's her? Yeah. So it's like my secret between me and my dad.
Speaking of the DVD player, there's the one where Ray tapes over their wedding video with a football game.
Yeah, football game. Yes.
Yeah, that was a favorite.
I'm so happy that you came in
Thank
because
you.
you're so
I
delightful.
appreciate
And
it.
Dave is hilarious, and I didn't expect that. I
And
don't know
as
why.
an adopted
But it's
kid,
so
I'm
great.
excited about
Yeah.
watching the movie.
Excellent.
Unexpected.
Well, I
so
hope you all come and let us know. And
Well, now that you
we'll
live here,
fix
whenever
up.
you have new stuff you want to talk about, you know you have friends.
Oh,
Really?
that's so
That's
nice of
very
you.
kind of
And by
you.
the way, I was in 3 episodes of Raymond.
Yeah,
he
played
I'm,
Bill
I'm really
Parker.
disappointed that he didn't mention those episodes.
I'm
what are the best
sorry.
episodes?
Well, there was the Hacky-Doo cards.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
one of them. And then there was the school election.
Yes.
Where I played the neighbor.
And then the babysitter.
And then the babysitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the
So
best
look those
3.
up.
They're the
Everybody
best
go
3
check
episodes
those out.
ever.
Yeah.
You guys are adorable. It's good to see you guys. Thank you.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
Dave. This is Patty, Big D, just in case you didn't know.
Gotcha.
In case we knock on your door.
I'm gonna sing. I'm not gonna let it. I'm not gonna be
No,
nervous.
of course. Now you feel you're
I
sure?
feel
getting
comfortable. No,
Comfy.
I'm still a little
You're
nervous.
having
I'm
a
trying
great
to talk
day.
myself into it.
having
Okay.
a great day now.
All right.
It's
All
fine.
right, here we go.
Thank
Closing jingle time.
So I'll look at
This was the podcast, but now it's over. But that's okay, because you can listen to the regular show on the radio every day. It was the podcast.